Hey guys, this is Rids and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a really long time since we last talked, since I last uploaded a video, but today I decided I wanted to end my sabbatical of sorts. I don't know if you call it that, but yeah, maybe you can call it that. I kind of wanted to make a bit of a comeback because I feel today is the perfect day to do it. I wanted to talk about something really special, and that is BTS. It is their 7th anniversary today. Happy birthday, Bangtan. I am so glad that you are in my life, and it's been an incredible journey to walk this path with you for 5 years. Today I wanted to sort of look back at my journey with BTS. There's something about this band that is life-changing, and I know I'm not the only one obviously that feels this way. There's so many millions of people around the world who feel this way about this group. And you know what's amazing about BTS is that I've always thought this was incredible, that they come into your life when you need them the most. Most of the time what I found is you don't even go looking for them. You don't seek them out. Most people in my life who are also BTS fans, they didn't search for BTS. BTS just sort of fell into their laps. And it all happened at a time when they were going through something difficult, when they were suffering mentally, physically, and basically experiencing a trial in life. It was definitely my case, and I know it was definitely the same case for so many of my friends. And in fact, BTS is the reason I met a lot of my friends, and I'm gonna get to that later. But I kind of wanted to start from the beginning of my story with them. And this is something that a lot of my followers ask me, a lot of people email me about, a lot of people ask me over interviews, is that why BTS? How BTS? How did this happen to the point where they mean so much to you and that they define a particular part of my identity? I first found BTS, or rather BTS found me, in 2015. I had just graduated college, and it was a college that I hated. I had struggled through my entire time over there. I had been going through some really tough times in the last couple of semesters. I had been sexually assaulted, lost a lot of friendships, and there was just so many trials. And after graduating, I was in this, puddle of depression for so long. I moved back in with my parents after living alone for so long, so that also made me feel kind of worthless, that I was depending on them for too much, and that I was like a burden to them. Months were passing by and I wasn't getting a job, and there was just this level of this feeling of worthlessness just climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, and I felt so suffocated. And I remember one day I was on YouTube and I was listening to music, and in my recommended videos came up this video called Dope. And I think a lot of you know, if you're an ARMY, you know what that song is. I remember I clicked on it, and there was so much energy, there was so much power, there was so much strength in the entire thing. It transported me completely. It just shifted me into a new space and sort of made me forget about where I was at that particular amount of time. And I was sat there with my mouth open in awe of these 7 boys who were just dancing with everything they got, and the lyrics were about hard work and hustle and getting over your struggles and achieving something incredible. And I felt like that was such a great message and so different from a lot of the stuff that we were hearing in the pop sphere at that point of time. And I was so intrigued. I was familiar with K-pop, and then I had heard of BTS vaguely, but I didn't know much of their work or anything. And this was my first encounter with them, and I was like, oh my god, what have I been missing? So then I started going through all of their discography, and eventually I came across Run. Run is my absolute favorite BTS song. It's the song that made me a lifelong fan, and it was because both the video as well as the lyrics just so perfectly described my state of mind at the time. The idea of running and trying to like get out of this storm of emotions that you are trapped in. And the video was about friendships falling apart and things just, you know, ending. And it was just this like really, it was like a whirlwind of things that just hit so close to my heart. That was such a reflection of my reality at that time, and I felt like I have been understood. Like, these are artists who have literally taken what I'm feeling and like put it out there. You know, it's crazy to see your inner emotions and your thoughts just like reflected onto a screen or onto a song for you to listen to or hear. You feel less alone, you feel supported, you feel stronger. And at that point of time, because I didn't have that many friends and I felt so worthless and alone, this was something that reassured me and gave me a boost. As 2016 came around and BTS released Wings was like next level shift into so many things that I enjoy: literature, art, symbolism, history, like all of it. There was so much like biblical imagery, there was Greek mythology, there was like, it was a smorgasbord of everything that I enjoyed, like, because I'm like a nerd. It was that idea of being transported, of being able to escape your abysmal reality into this space where you can, you know, exercise your creative mind and, you know, learn new things and like find out more about who you are in the process. I think that's something that BTS have been able to do subsequently with every album of theirs, but I'll get to that later. With Wings, I feel there was like this massive turning point and it solidified my connection with them, and it was such a healthy thing. Like, it really made me happier, more confident, made me feel more intelligent because of all the research we were doing and reading Damien. Like, Armies, you remember that, right? If that was like the comeback you were part of at the time, like, oh my god, like we were going crazy when the short films were dropping, theorizing, connecting with each other on like Twitter or whatever social media, and the Army Amino, and just discussing stuff like in depth with each other. Like, it was a whole new world of even new friends and acquaintances that opened up, and it's just this one band that did that, you know, which I thought was so fascinating. I have been involved in fandom culture since I was 11 years old. Like, I've been a fan of Tokyo Hotel for like 14 years now, and yeah, 14 years, oh my god, I'm old. But I've been a fan in fandom culture for such a long time, and even though I really value my connection to Tokyo Hotel and their fandom, BTS and ARMY was like a whole new level of, it was a movement. It has always been a movement. Like, even when we were smaller in 2016, to the titanic force that we are today, like of millions, there is a lot of positivity, there is a lot of encouragement, there is a lot of fascinating discussion. And it was just incredible to be part of all of it, you know, to feel included and to feel like you have people who don't think you're a loser, who don't think you're a dork for loving a band and for loving things like literature. Over the next couple of years, there were a lot of gifts that BTS gave me. And the first of that was coming to terms with my own mental health. A lot of BTS's lyricism, especially Suga and RM's lyrics, are about self-reflection and evolution of the mind. And I think it is a lot to do because with the fact that they're close to my age as well. Like, I am 27, like we're all in our 20s. So it's a lot of the struggles that they are talking about in their songs. It is struggles that a lot of us as millennials face. And I think that that's what makes them so relatable, because they don't have all the answers, so it's unfair to expect the answers from them, but they have the same questions, so you feel less alone, that okay, I'm not crazy, that I'm not the only one thinking like this, I'm not the only one that has these doubts about life and existence and, you know, psychology and all of that stuff. Especially like Suga, when he dropped August D in 2016, that was a turning point in my life, and it cemented him as my favorite songwriter within BTS because of the anger and the honesty that he expressed in it. I had never seen an artist be so honest, in a track and open up so much about their own mental health. At that point of time, I was also very angry at the world. I was very angry at my circumstances. I was angry at people who had called themselves my friends and done terrible things to me. And I had felt betrayed and alone and just angry, And with August D, it seemed like a lot of his angst stemmed from anger, and it was a natural thing. It was catharsis, I feel, for him to put that out into the world, and it was catharsis for me to listen to it as well. And it actually made me take the step and take up therapy at that point of time. He talked about therapy in his song The Last, and I was like, okay, like I can do it too. I can do it, So I took up therapy, and a lot of my mental state improved, and I'm so grateful to BTS and to Suga for that. Like, I can't express how thankful I am. The second incredible thing that BTS did for me, they gave me my two best friends. So in 2017, I got to interview RM. Again, this is something I'm going to talk about. The interview I'm going to talk about later, but right now I'm going to talk about how I met my friends because of this. I interviewed RM in 2017, and after we put that interview out, obviously Desi armies were like, oh my god, like this is amazing, and then like so much happened. And then one of my friends, like who I didn't know at the time, I think a lot of you know her name is Madhu Goody, and she was with Filter Copy previously. She reached out to a colleague of mine to ask, like a colleague at Rolling Stone, she reached out to him to ask, like, who wrote this? Like, I want to talk to this person. So then my colleague, he connected the two of us, and we just started talking in the Twitter DMs like non-stop. We met up like a couple of weeks after that. We couldn't bear to part. It was an instant, like when we met, the way we hugged Madhu, like you remember, like it was just, we didn't want to let go because we'd found each other. And it's such a niche space to be in, where you're like this music buff, but you're like K-pop fan, and then underneath that you're like a BTS fan, and then you're also into nerdy things like anime and literature. You're also part of the music journalism and music entertainment space in Mumbai, like the industry itself. She was part of the industry, I'm part of the industry, and that's what led to us meeting because of an industry connection. I mean, it's such a cool niche little space, and we found each other. Because of Madhu, I also connected with her friend Ruchi, who then became my friend and one of my best friends in my life. And it's just the three of us, the way we sit and talk about BTS, but also about life, about our careers, about everything under the sun that matters and beyond. We sit and talk till 4 a.m. with a cup of chai and some pizza, and countless nights have been spent like that, like where we are each other's comfort. They are my soulmates, and it's like what Jimin and V talk about, right? Where you find your soulmates, that way they're my soulmates. And I really feel that I would not be the person I am today without them, because you need women like this, strong, confident, encouraging women who lift you to the sky and give you so much positivity and support. And for me, if I can give back that level of positivity and support that they've given me, I mean, like, that's all I really want in my life. We all constantly thank BTS for doing this for us, for being that one link that joined us together. We met more friends like this. Supriya, who is Superwoman, so that was pretty cool. Like, we met her and several other friends of ours, and we're all like, we connect, we meet, we chat, it's just the best thing ever. And then last year, all of us took the plunge and decided to go and see BTS live in Thailand, and that was like incredible. It was hands down one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life. But what made it ultra special, that I was able to go with my two best friends, and I was able to enjoy that entire experience with my soulmates. I hope that for everyone who loves BTS and everyone who loves music, maybe, that you find this sort of artist and you find this sort of connection with people that makes you a better person and makes you a stronger person. and it just makes me very grateful to BTS for that. I'm not gonna cry. Girl, I have cried too much. You know when they dropped like "We Are Bulletproof," the Eternal, girl, the way I cried? So I'm not gonna do that now, alright? Like, enough crying. Oh my god. Beyond the songwriting and beyond the music, that's what's cool about BTS. Like, there's more. Like, you think that, oh my god, the music and the lyrics complete you, the artistry, the videos, the choreography, there's more. They are such incredible people from what we see of them. They have remained the same humble, talented, funny, dorky, sweet boys that I first encountered. Yes, they're men now, but everything else hasn't changed. I mean, yeah, they've evolved as artists and grown as human beings, but the core honesty, the sweetness, the funniness, the connection with each other, the connection with us, that has not changed. And I think it's pretty incredible when you are with an artist for such a long time and you're able to still see that they remain true to the mission that they started with, to the persona that they showed us. It just gives me this idea of a safe space that exists with Bangtan. Like, I know that if I've had a really shit day or a really shit week, a month, a year, friends reference, if I've had a really shit time, I know that I can switch on a Run BTS episode. I know that I can switch on Bangtan TV or look back at so many memories with them, and things will be better. I love when Namjoon had said, you know, like, even if your pain is at 100 and we can make it, you know, 99, 98. I don't think I've ever experienced this with any other artist, where the artists themselves is like, our existence is enough if we are able to make you happier. A lot has changed in the 5 years, in the sense that obviously from being this group that was kind of my little secret, maybe like, you know, those of us armies who remember before BTS hit like 1 million on Twitter, like, they were our boys, right? Like, our little secret. And what has changed is now we share them with more than, I think it's almost 25 million people, at least officially, on Twitter, and so many more worldwide, like people who don't even have Twitter, you know what I mean? Like, beyond social media, the fans that, like, they have the way this community has grown, the way they have grown as artists, as icons, you know, they're global icons now. Like, from being that underdog from that tiny label, they are industry leaders now. You know, they're leaders of a new generation of artists. It's a little overwhelming. It at times feels like I am trying to reach for a star and trying to grab that star, and you know it's not possible. Like, it's glittering in the sky and you reach out your hand and you know you'll never catch it, you know, but you still want to reach out. That's what it feels like when I look at BTS now. Sometimes, you know, when I see them on the cover of Time magazine, I see them speaking at the UN, I see them speaking at the YouTube class of 2020 graduation ceremony. I see all these things and the impact that they're making, and I feel proud, but I also feel like, oh my god, they're so beyond what I even dreamed, you know, that they would be. It is bittersweet because I'm sad, but I'm also happy. Like, I'm so proud. I'm so glad that they're able to change the world, you know, that this is my favorite band that did that. Even if it does make me feel like, okay, like, I have to share them with so many more people now, I'm like, oh my god, I get to share them with so many more people now. Now when I bring up BTS in a conversation, everyone I talk to personally knows who they are. And the feeling that comes from that, you know, rather than having to explain who this band is, this is a household name now, even here in India. I just wish for it to keep happening. I wish for them to be bigger and bigger and bigger and carve out a space for so many underrepresented artists of color, of different nationalities, you know, like to carve out a space for different cultures and just help people learn more and be more accepting. I think that is what BTS's mission has always been, to not be boxed in and to break that box and just open people's minds to understanding that there's more than just one way of thinking. In the last 5 years that I've been a fan, there was, and always I guess will be, a lot of people poking fun at me for standing Korean boys. There'll be a lot of people who'll be like, oh my god, K-pop, ew. And they'll like, say a bunch of racist things, they'll say a bunch of sexist things, they'll say a bunch of homophobic things. But at the end of the day, it does not matter. There's so many people who also like on social media will say a lot of stuff and have tried to question my love for this band, have tried to invalidate my love for this band, and none of it matters. And the people who taught me that are BTS, my friends, and my family. Because what is important to me in my life? BTS, my friends, and my family. And all these people have my back. They have proven time and time again, whether it is the band themselves or whether it is all the people I know in my life right here, they have my back. And being on this journey with BTS taught me to appreciate that a lot more, to appreciate my confidence in myself a lot more. And it made me understand that no one is allowed to define what this band means to me other than myself. What I believe about BTS, the impact that they made in my life, is between me and them. And that relationship is sacred. There is no one who can change that. There is no one who can touch that. If I listen to a track by them, it's an instant uplift. And only BTS can do that. Not people on the internet, not strangers on the street who are being all like, oh my god, not people who I meet at industry events and scoff at K-pop, or the fact that I'm a K-pop journalist. None of these people matter. So if you face stuff like this too, just know none of it matters as long as you and your relationship with BTS is what you focus on, and you focus on your relationship with those in your life who value your opinions, who value your existence. Even if you're in a space physically where you can't find anyone who shares these same thoughts as you, there is someone in the ARMY community online who you can connect with and then eventually may become friends with, like me and my friends. And I would say, like, don't lose faith. I know there might be times when you feel lonely, but just listen to a lot of BTS's music, and it will also show you that there were times when they felt like that as well. There were times that, we know this, like if you're ARMY, you know this, that they spent so much of their lives worrying that they would not amount to anything, but they kept going. They kept fighting, they kept searching for answers, they kept searching and striving towards success and climbing. And it's been it wasn't like overnight fame. BTS debuted in 2013, right? And the fame only came, I would say, by 2017, that global blow up, right? So it took them that long. Even whether for you it is about finding friends or achieving your dreams, it's not an overnight process. I'm still in the process of achieving my dreams, and it just doesn't happen like this. But what BTS has taught me is to persevere. There is a sincerity in their belief that tomorrow will be a better day. It makes you believe that as well. It's certainly what kept me going for a very, very, very long time. Especially when I was at my loneliest. It was BTS's faith in a better tomorrow that kept me also believing that my tomorrow would be better. It was my 2017 interview with RM that solidified the fact for me that I wanted to become a K-pop journalist. Like, that was the interview that sort of cemented it, After I spoke to him, there were many things, like, first of all, while speaking to him, it was the most natural thing in the world. He is so articulate, elegant, but also funny and relatable, makes you feel completely comfortable. Also the fact that we laughed around about stuff, joked, and just had a good time. It was like, again, that reminder of how down to earth this group is, and how dedicated they are towards their fans, how dedicated they are towards giving all of us who consume their content a very genuine experience, a very heartfelt experience. It made me approach my editors at Rolling Stone and say like, I want to start reporting and like talking about BTS a lot more, about K-pop a lot more, because they, like the way RM spoke about K-pop, it made me understand a little bit better and understand how artists like BTS and many before and after them have strived to create their own standard. Of course, BTS have like shot above and eclipsed everything and just like, you know, reached heights that I don't think anybody in the industry ever dreamed of. This is truly the definition of what an icon is. Where they come, they open the door and they change the world. They change the sphere of possibilities, you know, they expand it. Sky's the limit, and it's because of BTS. And I think that so many more artists who will come after them, not just tomorrow, but maybe 10, 20, 50 years from now. It's like our favorite comparison, like the Beatles opened so many doors, right, for many, many artists. Same thing, BTS are doing that now. It is a gift to have lived in the time of BTS, to be a part of this generation, to walk with them on this path, to be a fan as they discover who they are as artists and as people, and to also learn from their experience and make it a part of our experience of life. It is an honor. I am looking forward to what they will bring in the next how many ever years they choose to bless us with their artistry and their personalities. BTS, thank you so much for all that you've done for me, all that you've done for ARMY, all that you've done for artists and individuals around the world. I want to walk on this path with you forever. I will walk on this path with you forever. You ain't getting rid of me. I look forward to the day that when we can speak again, and hopefully this time all of us can have a really, really good conversation about music and production and all that good stuff. For everyone who's watching this, thank you for watching this. If you're ARMY or you're not ARMY, I would love to hear more of your stories about your experience with BTS and why they're important to you. So please do like leave a comment and feel free to just, you know, vent completely, go in depth. I'm very, very happy to read. I love comments that go in depth. So let me know about your experiences with BTS and why they are so important to you, and when you became a fan. Give me the whole story, girl. I got you. I love it. So if you like this video, if you related to it, if you like the story, if you like BTS, if you like me, please do leave a comment below, give me a like and subscribe if you want to. Join this family and we'll talk all about being ARMY, we'll talk about loving BTS, and of course we'll talk about a lot more K-pop. And looking forward to walking on this path with all of you guys for the rest of our lives. So until next time, see ya. I've talked so much, like literally the sun has set and the entire lighting for my video has changed from when it first began. It's like been like an hour or something. But you know, that's like what happens when you talk about BTS. I can talk about BTS for like days, so it's very difficult to stop myself right now, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna stop. Okay, there. Whew. I'm gonna stop. I promise. Okay, no, I love you, BTS. I don't know.